Hey everyone, Sports Guy Show, also known as Shaked. Hope everyone had a great week. Hope everyone is having a great weekend. Hope everyone is making pretty good money doing food delivery and all of that. Because the goal, food deliveries, ladies and gentlemen, you want to make money. That is how you do it. You want to make money, you want to make substantial money, you want to have good income doing it, and you don't want to waste gas. You don't want to waste gas, you don't want to have maintenance problem on your vehicle because food delivery driving can cause substantial maintenance problem to your vehicle. So ladies and gentlemen, my name is Shaked, I'm the Sports Guy Show. I've been doing food delivery driving since January 19, 2019. So I believe I can give you guys some good advice from my experience, what to do, what not to do in order to make money. Of course, you can take it or you cannot. It's up to you, ladies and gentlemen. So, the first thing I should mention, I have been doing GrabHub, Uber Eats, DoorDash. Now, I work in Charlotte, North Carolina. That is my market. That is where I do the food delivery driving. So I have a big size market. Now this might apply to small market or to big market. But anyway, in my market, Charlotte, North Carolina, even though I have Grubhub, Uber Eats, DoorDash, Instacart, which I'm not doing in other companies, I mostly do Uber Eats. The reason why I mostly do Uber Eats is because I notice Uber Eats relatively pay better than DoorDash. They do. But make no mistake about it, Uber Eats also don't care about the delivery drivers. I want to show you, ladies and gentlemen, just so you will see what Uber Eats is bringing to my market on the 16th of April. This is very important, guys. It's very important. So I'm going to show you on my phone the email that I received from Uber Eats coming April 16 to my market. I don't know those of you who doing Uber Eats delivery if got this email, but I'm sure you will get it. I'm pretty sure you will get it. So here it goes. So I want you guys to see this is what coming. New cancellation rate. New cancellation rate for Uber Eats. This is new cancellation rate, ladies and gentlemen, coming for Uber Eats. As we scroll down, and we look at the FAQ as we open it right now. As you can see, starting on April 16, Uber Eats required drivers to have cancellation rate below 20% to stay active driver. Now, some of you, ladies and gentlemen, might say, well, Shaked, 20%, not a big deal. Not a big deal to stay under 20%. Here's the thing, guys. As a self-employed, we are our own boss. The last I saw, we are our own boss. But not according to Uber Eats, not according to DoorDash, Grubhub. And it's not just Uber Eats. Every company has their rules. Now, the other thing about cancellation rate, I get it. They don't want orders to be canceled. But here's the problem with Uber Eats, guys. Uber Eats, let's say you're stuck in traffic, car accident, not your fault. You're stuck in long traffic jam. There's the computer who check where you are all the time, which is okay. Spying on you, literally spying on you. The computer for Uber Eats. That is how they see where drivers are and to send them orders and all of that. So that is totally fine. But like I said, you stuck in a car accident, ladies and gentlemen. You stuck in a car accident and the GPS took you to that route. You're on the way to a restaurant and you cannot move. You cannot move and you have contact Uber support. You have let them know about it. You have contacted the customer. You let the customer know about it. Guess what? If you stuck for more than 10 minutes in the traffic jam, you will receive an automatic message from Uber Eats stating, I see you're not moving, basically, and if you're not going to move very soon, I'm going to unassign the order and assign it to another driver. So you're still stuck in traffic. A minute, 2 minutes later, you receive the same text message from Uber Eats, but different message. I've unassigned the order. The order has been unassigned to another order, to another driver. Now, here's the problem. Even though it's not your fault that you're stuck in a traffic jam, you are still going to be penalized on Uber Eats cancellation rate. Number two, you go to a restaurant, you accept an offer. The restaurant cannot make the food. They don't have the food in the system. They are not willing to make it. You contact Uber support. You let them know about it. Uber support cancel the order. Guess whose cancellation rate impacted? You, the driver. Third solution, third scenario, ladies and gentlemen, on Uber Eats. You accepted an offer. You go to the restaurant. The restaurant advises you another driver already came and picked up the food. You wondering how it can happen? Well, here is how it can happen. And this is something that no driver should ever do. Because A, it's against Uber rules, but B, and more importantly, it's immoral. It's wrong. It's a crime. It's a theft. Please don't ever do that. But I'm just giving you an example what happened to a driver. You go to a restaurant. You have the order. The restaurant tell you, listen, someone else already picked up the food. You know how this happened on Uber Eats? It's quite simple. The original driver who had the order, got the food, but he clicked on the app instead of confirming that he has the food, leaving, driving, delivering the food to the customer. That driver, ladies and gentlemen, what that driver did is basically got the food, canceled the order. Now, Uber doesn't recognize that the driver stole the food, So they send the order to another driver. They send it to another driver. And then when they send it to another driver, that driver go to the restaurant and he show the restaurant their food. I need to come and pick up the food. 9 out of 10, the restaurant will tell the driver, listen, I'm sorry, someone else took the food. We're not going to remake it. And you will have to call Uber support to cancel it. Now, you contact Uber support to cancel it. Guess whose cancellation rate is impacted? Do you think, ladies and gentlemen, the driver who stole the food? No. The one who come to pick up the food and with the intention of delivering it, that is the driver whose cancellation rate is impacted. Now, regarding that, Uber used to do the right thing. You go to a restaurant, they don't have the food, someone else stole it, different driver stole the food. The other driver will come with the intention to pick up the food. You're getting paid. You're getting paid for cancellation trip and the time you spent, the mileage that you drove, and all of that. And Uber, they remove that. They remove that compensation. The same with Walmart, ladies and gentlemen. They used to do on Walmart. Walmart is one of the biggest delivery carrier on Uber Eats. They really are. They are much more on Uber Eats than on DoorDash. Honestly, I don't believe they're on DoorDash, but I could be mistaken. Let me know in the comment below. And let me know also in the replay if DoorDash is doing Walmart deliveries. Because as far as I know, and I've been doing delivery drivings, like I said, since 2019, I haven't run into one Walmart delivery from DoorDash. So anyway, Walmart used to be an issue with Uber Eats that if you go to Walmart, you wait 20, 30 minutes, you get some sort of compensation. It used to be between $2 and $5. Pardon me, between $3 and $5. $3, you wait 10 minutes or more. $5, you wait 15 minutes or more. Now, Uber decided to cancel that compensation. So you wait a long time, unless the store cancel it. If you cancel it, we are sorry, but your cancellation rate will count. And like I showed you guys in the email earlier from Uber. This came from Uber. It's coming to my market April 16, ladies and gentlemen. Not long time from now. Cancellation rate, 16%, 20% or less, you will be fine. 20% or more, Uber will deactivate you. Now, like I said, and this is not just Uber, because DoorDash has their own policy, Grubhub has their own policy, and all of that. And I understand they want orders to be delivered, to stay in business, and all of that. I completely understand that. But what I don't understand, ladies and gentlemen, is why we are not being compromised on Uber Eats anymore for cancel order. Like you go to a restaurant, the restaurant doesn't have the order, you don't get compromised for driving to the restaurant. Even if you drove 20 miles, they're not going to compensate you even $1. You don't get compromised on Uber if the restaurant is closed and you arrive at the restaurant. Instead, they penalize you with cancellation rate. You don't get compromised on Uber. You go to a restaurant, they don't have the food. Someone else stole the food. You don't get compromised. It used to be that you get compromised. So all of those stuff is not good for driver. Also, Uber need to understand, ladies and gentlemen, Uber need to understand that if a driver is stuck in traffic, car accident, severe thunderstorm, tornado, winter storm, police involved, road closure, medical emergencies that close the road, you name it, unforeseen circumstance, situation that the driver is not in fault. Even if the order canceled by Uber, the driver who had the order originally should not be penalized with cancellation rate. Because this, we are talking about very, very serious issue, ladies and gentlemen. We really are. If Uber canceled the order and your cancellation rate drop below 20%, they are going to deactivate. Above 20%, they are going to deactivate you. Below 20%, you will still stay on the platform, but you're walking a tight needles. Now, I should state, Uber has benefit for cancellation rate like below 5% and 300 points plus and customer satisfactory of 95%. But you do get an Uber Eats, ladies and gentlemen. You do get an Uber Eats, ladies and gentlemen, the benefit, the absolutely benefit of having free Costco membership and other benefits. So it's good rewarding program, but honestly, I preferred personally to remove the Costco membership and instead, when you reach 300 point, when your customer satisfactory is 95%, when your cancellation rate is below 5% or below, you would get, you would get, ladies and gentlemen, $200 bonus from Uber. $200 bonus from Uber can definitely go more than Costco membership. Now, of course, Uber will not do that, but that is what they should do for delivery drivers. Now, DoorDash also has a similar policy regarding cancellation. On DoorDash, ladies and gentlemen, if I accept an offer and I decided to cancel it prior to waiting for more than 10 minutes, they are going to penalize you. They are going to penalize you. Now, DoorDash, as far as I know, if you're running late, stuck in traffic jam, they're not going to cancel the order and cause you cancellation rate. But DoorDash, if you run into a lateness, not because of your fault, let's say you run 20 minutes behind because of a car accident, even if you contact the customer and they're okay with it, even if you contact DoorDash and they understand, the system will still trigger you a contract violation. Now, contract violation is basically a strike against you. You get multiple contract violations, you could be deactivated from the platform. You accept an offer, you unassigned it, your completion rate. On DoorDash, it goes from 100%, which is very high, to 90%. You drop below 90%, they're going to deactivate you. No question asked on DoorDash. You get contract violation, multiple contract violation, result of your fault, they are going to deactivate you. No question asked. I'm sure now Grubhub has similar policy. I'm not familiar with it, to be honest with you all, because I don't do much Grubhub anymore. I do mostly Uber Eats. I do DoorDash. Now, DoorDash, the reason why I do less DoorDash, even though it's busier in my market than Uber Eats, because honestly, DoorDash pay scale for drivers is absolutely terrible, ladies and gentlemen. It really is. For delivery drivers on DoorDash, their pay range starting from $2.25 up to $10.50. Now, You say, wow, they pay you 10, 50. No, for every offer, absolutely not. They pay you more closer to the $2 to $3 range per offers. I've seen, ladies and gentlemen, with my own eyes, offers that are 20, 30 miles away. DoorDash will still give you $2.25. So basically, they are counting on the customer providing you with tips. If they don't, you're in big trouble, ladies and gentlemen. If a customer on DoorDash does not provide you tips, you're not going to make money, basically. Let's put it that way. And Uber Eats, their pay per miles is slightly more better. Like it's sometimes $5, $6, $8 for longer drives, sometimes $4 for shorter drives. So it's overall much better pay scale. But in DoorDash, their pay scales is terrible. Now, DoorDash has their premium policy for drivers, the benefit, I should state, like acceptance rate. And DoorDash, you accept above 50%, you can reach a tier level, a certain tier level, when there is more benefit involved with it. The only problem, ladies and gentlemen, with those is you have to accept very bad offers to get to 50%, where you're going to cause a lot of wear and tear on your vehicle. You really are. And also, when you get to the 50%, there is no guarantee you will get exclusive eye pain offer. You might get one or two, but the rest of them are going to be your average $5 to $3 pay. So now, on Uber, to get tips, of course, you have to provide good service. You know, and when I say good service on Uber, you have to communicate with the customer. I always do the following. When I get the offer, I always send a message to the customer. Even, even if the customer tip is going to be very low, which you can tell roughly how much the tip is going to be based off the pay. But even like I had an offer the other day. It was $0 tip. Unfortunately, not a nice customer. Let's put it that way. Even though it was a not nice customer, I still sent a friendly message to the customer, let the customer know when I will be arriving. And when I arrived, I greet the customer with hello, how you doing? And all of that. And thank you, have a good day. Because tips are extremely important. But also, what important for you as a driver to stay active on the Uber platform beside the cancellation rate is the customer satisfactory. Also, like I mentioned, there is benefits for customer satisfactory, such as Costco membership and other perks that are available on Uber Eats drivers. So always treat customer with respect, dignity. Always treat a customer like they're the best customer you ever had. Even if you might not get a tip from them, treat them with dignity and respect. I don't think that I learned it when I was beginning on Uber Eats, and I know not to do it anymore because it's not working. It's actually backtracking. When you do food deliveries, when you're on an active delivery and you arrive at the customer, I know it's our natural thinking to saying, oh, thumbs up, please give me thumbs up, which means give me a tip. But I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that is not going to work. Like my first ever delivery on Uber Eats, I didn't know how it worked. I arrived at the customer, I was friendly, I was polite, respectful, and I asked the customer, please give me a tip, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget thumbs up. Don't forget a tip when I left a customer. And thank you. Have a great day. Did I get any tip from the customer? The answer is zero. Zilch. Nada. No tip. Now, I had a different customer. Couple of days later, I still didn't know what I was doing. I arrived at the customer. I friendly, polite, respectful. I hand the customer the food. It was their house. I tell the customer, have a great day. I ask for a tip. Can you please leave me a tip? The customer didn't leave me any tip. Now, when I actually just send them a tip, just send the customer, Shaked, I will be arriving to 25. 99.9% of the time, you're not only going to get a tip, but you're going to get even above and behind. I had so many circumstances, so many situations, ladies and gentlemen, that just being polite, just being respectful to the customer, just communicate with the customer, result in me getting much bigger tip. I'm talking about $10, $15, $20 more on average than the original offer. Also, when you provide friendly service, they are more than likely going to give you a thumbs up review on the app. If they decide to give you a thumbs down review on the app, your customer satisfaction will go down, even if it wasn't your fault. The same with restaurant. Treat restaurant with dignity and respect. Even if the food is late, don't take it on the restaurant. Just explain to them politely, I need the food on time, so Uber won't be mad, won't deactivate, so the customer won't be upset, but please provide me the food ASAP. Thank you. You think those stuff are so minor, but trust me, if you're being rude to a restaurant, they will report it to Uber, they will report it to DoorDash, report it to GrabUp, they will ban you from those restaurants. Also, they will give you a bad review on Uber Eats. Restaurant reviews count. Restaurant reviews count toward your customer satisfaction, just like customers on Uber Eats platform. DoorDash is customer rating. Customer can rate you from 5-star to a 1-star. DoorDash customer satisfactory rating to stay on the platform, I'm pretty sure it's around 4.2, which is very low. My case, my customer rating is very high, 4.94, and my Uber Eats is 98%. Why? Because regardless if it's a I pay on DoorDash or not, I make sure send a friendly message to the customer. I did Shaked, I will be arriving at 2:25. Thank you and have a great day. You have no idea, ladies and gentlemen, how important and how far can a short message like that can go versus you don't send anything. Now, you are not required to send anything, because even if you don't send anything, 9 out of 10, they're not going to be mad at you and rate you and all of that. But communication goes a long way. Respect go a long way on those platforms, on Uber Eats, on DoorDash, on GrabUp. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I work in my market in Charlotte. My market might be different than your market, but the same applies to every market. Be respectful to the customer. Be respectful to the restaurant. It will go a long way, ladies and gentlemen. It really is. It will go a long way to make sure you get a good tip from the customer. You get good tips. The restaurant are happy, so you will receive more offers. Because if Uber, DoorDash see you as a bad driver, they're not going to send you offers. They're really not, because it's a system that can track your behavior. It literally is, ladies and gentlemen. They can track your behavior. They can see everything that you do 24/7. When you're on live on the app, they can see what you do. So if you accept an offer and you don't start driving, and you just wait the time, they're going to notice it. They could potentially deactivate you. If you steal the food, they're going to find out about it and they're going to deactivate you. So don't break the rules. Treat the customer food like it's your food, ladies and gentlemen. That's simple. And also, what I've noticed, ladies and gentlemen, and I honestly don't understand why so many people do food delivery drivings don't have delivery bag. I absolutely don't understand that. I am using my delivery bags from 2019. They're still good, and customers are so happy about it. Restaurants are so happy. I had so many restaurants telling me, "You're the only driver who come here with the delivery bags. Thank you so much. We really appreciate." I mean, I'm wondering, ladies and gentlemen, you pick up a hot pizza. You pick up a hot pizza. You put it on your back seat without delivery bag. Guess what will happen to the pizza? The pizza will stay cold. The pizza could also damage on the way. And then you deliver the pizza to the customer. You will not get a tip from the customer. They will report you to the platform and you could be deactivated. So there are so many delivery bags. They are free. You can get from Uber, from DoorDash, I'm sure, GrabHub, I'm sure they have free delivery bags. But more importantly, guys, ladies and gentlemen, you can get them on Amazon very cheap. And it goes a long way because a lot of restaurants like Angry Owl Pizza required DoorDash drivers to have delivery bag. And I understand why. Because if you deliver food without delivery bag, you're basically being lazy. You're basically being lazy. And I'm not saying food delivery driving is a career. I'm not saying that. But if you do the job, you want to make money, you want people to be satisfied, you don't want to be deactivated, just have a delivery bag. You can find it on Amazon, you can find it on Walmart, you can find it in the store. It's inexcusable not to have delivery bags. It really is. It's flat out being lazy. And when you're being lazy doing food delivery driving, there is consequence. There is consequence, ladies and gentlemen. You might not get any tip. If you're not getting tips on Uber Eats, I can guarantee you it's because you don't have a delivery bag. Also because probably you have not communicated with the customer. It's okay. People can watch the replay, Brady. People can watch the replays. You guys watching the replay, my friend, it's just as much as watching the live stream. Because we're helping the channel grow. And while we do that, I give great advice. Great advice. So please smash the like button, guys. Because I just shared for the last 34 minutes, including the email from Uber Eats, how to make money doing food deliveries. Because some people don't know it. Some people think, like at first, when I did food delivery, guys, I did it 7 days in a row, every day, 11 to 8 a.m., 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., every day. Sometimes I went until 9 p.m. And you know what happened? I was exaggerated. And actually, I made less money. I made way, way less money than I do now, working 5 times a week, Monday through Friday. Why? Because back then I took basically offer, every offer, garbage offer. So I'm talking about $5, $6, $7 offers. Now on Uber Eats, on GrabHub, DoorDash, I'm getting $10, $20 offers that I can take, that I can make money off them. So yeah, you have to be cherry picking, but you have to be smart. You cannot cancel orders on Ubers, because if you cancel orders on Uber, cancellation rate will go up. And like I showed you earlier in the video, which you can watch the replay, the email coming from Uber, directly Uber Eats, April 16, cancellation rate, 20% or less. You will be deactivated if it's 20% or more. So my whole point is, ladies and gentlemen, remember, be smart. Be smart doing food delivery. You can make money, but you have to be smart and understand it's not a career. It's not a career. This is not a career. This is just a job that you use to pay your bills and to get your dream job. That's how food deliveries should be treated. If you see it as a career, well, I have bad news for you. You're not going to make enough money to survive in the long run.